Who the hell is this? Maybe a little bit louder. That's kind of loud. I need the game to be audible, but like not loud, because I hate the commentators. Jake. Shake. I've never ever known this 12's name. It's like a name. Something da. Classic ass matchup. Just kidding, no matchup in this game with 12 is classic. 12 hits like a freight train though. I mean Alex hits like a freight train. 12 hits like the opposite of a freight train. Crookie, tell me you're here. I just woke up and it's 6 AM. I'm in a good mood. But it's so early in the morning. It changes everything, you know what I mean? I'm gonna make the Manat cut. I mean the Manat B&B today. Damn, that could have been super. 12, if he does that dive flat, I guess it's probably called, and you block it, you can punish it with anything. Maybe not anything, because it's like Rashid's Eagle Spike. He bounces off you, and you have to close the distance just a little bit, or do something there. It doesn't really matter. I guess Alex isn't that bad to transform into. You don't have access to EX slash elbow or EX flash chop, but like your damage and stun are pretty high, so it's like almost a joke that like this isn't just a meme super. That doesn't matter because he's gonna transform back. Oh, okay, it mattered a little bit because he missed his punish off. Why could 12 still win this? Good parry. It's better to do a forward parry there than a back one. Chun-Li will rise again. I don't think Chun-Li's unviable. I think she's maybe on the lower end. She's like below half tier wise, maybe. But her depth is quite good compared to most characters. So like if you want to be a Chun-Li player, there's a good capacity, even if she's not that good, there's a good capacity for you to still be better than the opponent compared to most characters. You know what I mean? I tried to think of a character with very low depth in Street Fighter V and I couldn't immediately. Maybe Ryu. Ryu is like lower end and also doesn't have a whole lot of depth. Ed might not have that much depth. There are characters without depth. Kemi doesn't have that much depth, but she's good. So it doesn't really matter that she doesn't have that much depth. Same with Kareen, perhaps. This is probably good for 12, to be honest. Both matches are very slow and lame. Oh my god, all that health in like 2 seconds. 12 had just been doing all this damage over the course of like 30 seconds and then he just eats 3 hits and it's like, oh. I would pick Super 1 Makoto in this matchup, to be honest. Alright, Makoto's up close mix-up is pretty solid. Never mind, he's dead. Was that Fukiage just around our house? Of all the juggles? You see some weird shit in the openings of these East versus West. That was like a well-spaced universal overhead in the middle of nothing. I wonder if we could have linked like a towards jab or maybe a stand strong. I don't remember if towards jab is really fast. I think it is. I think it's a 3 frame normal in Street Fighter 4. Goes further than their stand jab anyway. Barely. Makoto's axe kick does a lot of work in this matchup. But she's got a really good chance of being hit out of it. But her early air normals, particularly early jump medium kick, early jump hard kick, early jump fierce, which is the one we just saw. Ah, cannon matchup. You don't see this one a whole lot because you don't see Ibuki a whole lot. Ibuki's one of the rarest characters in this game. There are like more Q players than Ibuki players, even though Ibuki's like noticeably better. Ibuki's got a unique playstyle too. Ibuki in this game is one of my favorite technical characters in any fighting game. Although, to be honest, I don't like playing her. I like fighting her, and I like her on paper. But a lot of the characters in this game feel really garbage for me to play. Other people like them though, so I can't complain. If this game honestly didn't have aura, I wouldn't care that much about it. I mean, it's still good for like a spectator, even if you don't, if there's not an aura on the screen, I still like watching it. But like, Ryu versus Ken or something like that is still like a very fun matchup to play. But I don't personally like trying to play the Shadows at that level. Or like, I'm not good at it, to be more accurate. It's not like I don't like it. It's fun to play Ryu or Ken. But playing like high level Ryu or Ken, Ryu's not so bad for me. But high level Ken is just like, this is a bunch of shit I don't wanna fuck around with. Don't want to link supers non-stop. Aura kind of like breaks the rules of this game because of his struggles. Like, I don't ever do as Oro. This is not a thing for me to do parry into button into like super, which is a thing for every other character in the game. That's like one of the basic like gameplay rules. How did he not super there? The super was safe even if it was blocked, and it was almost definitely gonna chip out. Well, it was definitely gonna chip out, but like Makoto was very unlikely to parry it, and it was safe even if parried. Wow, did he just lose? How do you fuck up that super and then never mind. Ah. Ugly. You can't cancel that uppercut to super unless it is blocked or hits. It was basically a checkmate scenario if Makoto was closer, because it was EXTP, which was a hard parry, or like not hard, but unlikely that Makoto would be going for it. And then a super, which was an extremely hard parry, followed by it being safe on block, safe on parry. All of Aura's supers are extremely setup oriented. Aura doesn't just have a super that does a bunch of hits. He's got one that makes him extremely dangerous if he grabs you. Gives him a really long range grab. Got him. He's got one where he jumps at you, and that's the closest one to a regular super, because you can do parry into that. That's like the only of his 6 supers, the only one where you can do parry into it, and it makes sense. You got the booger, which is basically useless in punish scenarios, although it's good in juggles. Oh, the target combo, stand fierce, stand roundhouse. That's cool. That was really neat. Stand roundhouse is unthrowable. Stand fierce into stand roundhouse is a TC Elena has that, like, that's the only time I've ever seen it used, although I know it exists. She has it in Street Fighter 4 as well, and it's equally useless in that game. Stand fierce cancels in that game, so like you can just cancel it into something better than stand roundhouse. Yes, I'm good. Aura's got the sun, which is so slow it doesn't combo from anything in a punish scenario. It only combos from stand strong. And then you got your two stone things which just activate. Aura has like 2 very slow projectiles and 3 activation supers and then a jump grab. You can tell looking at Aura's repertoire that they wanted him to be very unusual. They wanted him to have a weird tool set. Elena's jump fierce and also jump strong and also jump roundhouse. Elena's jump buttons fuck 12 up pretty bad. EX Rhinohorn is also pretty good in this matchup. Hi, Cream Crop. I don't think I've seen that name around here. Like Cream of the Crop, but like Krispy Kreme. There's a unique property in this game that moves that are supposed to reset won't immediately air reset. So like you hit someone with a jump jab, for example, they're supposed to air reset, but they'll take a couple frames to do it. So if you have a jump jab into like a TC, like let's say jump jab, jump forward, which is something that I think Yun has. No, not Yun. Yun has something else. I don't remember what Yun's RTCs are. Ibuki has it, and I think there's another character. This one, Elena. That shouldn't work in like Street Fighter 4 engine, for example, because jump jab would air reset like the frame it hits. The opponent would become immune to all hits until they landed. But in this game, you don't get that air reset until a couple frames afterwards, so you have an air TC. You'll be able to do both hits of the air TC. You can see that in a lot of different places. Elena's jump roundhouse, either hit will air reset, but if you're close enough for the both hits to connect, both hits will connect. It lets air 2-hit special moves work without making it so they cause like a juggle reel. Ryu's jump strong does it too. This is probably the weakest game for Ryu's jump strong. It doesn't cause like a float state. And it also, instead of... Okay, the thing about like this game is that all air normals, you basically become very hard to juggle once you get to 6 on the juggle potential. It's kind of weird to say. And all air normals for the most part count as 3. So normally Ryu can do like, let's say, jump jab and then juggle into a super 1. Like he can land, he'll do jump jab, he lands first, he does super 1, the opponent will fall into the super 1 before they can hit the ground. And then that's a combo, because the opponent, you can get air reset into supers in this game. That's one of the rules of this game. Oh shit, title's still Monot Cup. Timeout. I should actually fix that. I thought I changed it. I didn't do it just now though, so. God damn it, how did I leave it like that so long? Didn't I have like a 6-hour stream between like the Monot Cup and now? This takes so long to change. Chillin' like a villain. Playing retro. Why does it take an hour? There we go, I changed it. Where were we? Anyway, that also works for Jump Fierce, although the pushback is radically different on Jump Heavies versus Jump Lights in this game. The opponent, if you air to air with a heavy in this game, the opponent will get like thrown full screen, so it's basically corner only to do juggles like that, Jump Fierce into land super. Anyway, for 5 of Ryu's 6 air normals, he can just do the jumping air normal and then land and super, and the opponent will be juggled into the super. But if he does jump strong and gets both hits of jump strong, that's actually 6 JP immediately. So if he lands in supers, the super will go right through the opponent, because he'll have used up the juggle potential. So in every other Street Fighter game, jump strong into super is like a thing, but in this Street Fighter game, everything except jump strong into super is a thing. Jump strong is the only button Ryu has that doesn't work. It's kind of weird and stupid. Don't know what was scan, dude. He clearly put like a lot of thought into that change list, which makes me feel like he probably watches a lot of third strike. Especially considering, like, you know, it was a fairly elaborate change list, and he expressly said that it didn't mean anything and it was just for fun. Usually you see meaty stand forward as Ryu, not meaty stand strong. They're pretty much interchangeable. They're both pretty good meaties. Stand forward confirms a little easier into a super, but that's not a factor for Denjin Ryu. I don't know the damage. Ooh, she didn't use that meter. Everyone's gonna have different opinions on a rebalance of third strike, to be honest. I don't remember what people were saying on the comments of that video, but like, you know, if people were for it or against it, that's very subjective. It's not like I was right for thinking it was kind of good. I definitely wasn't. It's not something you can be right about. I do think the balance of this game is shit, but there's a lot of different ways to fix it. And also there are people out there who like want it to be shit, which I can also understand even though I don't agree. Oh, this is how to badger with Ken. Yeah, I guess it was just for fun, and a lot of people did have some very strong opinions. I'm not against rebalancing this game, and I would like some pretty serious overhauls, not unlike the ones we saw in the Ford Strike. Not like serious overhauls. That was a failed super. Siren House jump, hard kick. That's a, she's got to do a super jump cancel super. Yeah, I think that's a thing. I think a lot of people have this like immense deep respect for third strike that it doesn't necessarily deserve. Although it is an extremely good fighting game. It's a happy accident at the end of the day. It's not like it couldn't be better. It is a really, really good game, don't get me wrong. It's my favorite Street Fighter. But it's so weird to suggest that this is like like just because it's the best fighting game, any sort of touch would make it worse. It's like we know what the problems are. We've been playing this game for 15 years. See if you can spot some problems in this matchup. This is also a shit matchup. This might be a worse matchup than the one we just saw, although it's simultaneously more winnable. I think Chun-Li dominates Hugo more than she dominates Sean, but if you're good, you'll have an easier time winning with Hugo than Sean. If you're a better player than the Chun-Li. It's like strange to say that, but that's how both matchups work, to be honest. Chun-Li Sean is probably 3-7 or maybe 8-2, but it's not anything. Chun-Li doesn't have anything that just beats Sean other than just good normals that give him trouble in footsies. She doesn't counterpick him in any way. Not the best that I can tell. She's just really good and he's just really bad. No other component to that matchup. Nice. But here's something where Chun-Li actually dominates. Chun-Li controls Hugo's movement really well. I feel like there's so many matchups where Hugo lives and dies on moonsault. Not moonsault, what do you call it? Gigas. It's like if Hugo doesn't land Gigas in a lot of matchups, it's almost impossible for him to win. But if he does land it, it's almost impossible for him to lose. Ooh. That was a good comeback, I guess. I guess he earned that. Nice turning bear. Neat squasher. That very, very low jump fierce. YSB does that a lot. It's like pretty safe if you've been parried. Oh, he fell out. Hugo's the one with Super 1. Suddenly's the one with Super 2. What are you talking about? It goes the wrong way because these videos are... This playlist isn't automatically put in reverse order. Hugo didn't have SA2. Oh, I don't know. Just asking theoretically. I guess? I don't know. Theoretically, Super 2 has like the best mix-up for Hugo. Although in practice it's like the worst Super. But like, you know, SPD versus raw Super 2. The problem is raw Super 2 is like a very bad idea. You will die 90% of the time doing that. There's not enough incentive to jump out of grabs in this game. You can't be sure. You can never be sure the opponent's going to use a jump to get out of your grab. Fortunately, you can actually confirm. Oh, neat. You can actually confirm Super 2 rather easily with his Ultra Throw. Most Hugo players don't really seem to use the Ultra Throw that much because it's very redundant with the, oh, if that was an SPD it would have stunned. It's clearly deliberate, clearly intended to be an SPD. Ultra Throw does more damage than Spinning Pile Driver, but it is more, Ultra Throw is the one he throws you against the wall. It's more damaging, but the combos used with it are not, never mind, didn't get him. A lot of people don't like doing like Ultra Throw Clap shoot down because it can be really inconsistent based on screen position. You have to do 3 different juggles. Either it's not available at all, you have to do like a mid combo dash, or you have to time it in a very specific way. Yeah, EX Clap into Super 2 works, but that one is, I think that's point blank only. It works in the corner too. But that takes a ton of meter. That takes like a bar and a half. Bar and a third. Ultra 2 also scales really, really badly, so you don't want to do very long combos into it. You only want to get like 1 or 2 hits, and EX Clap I think is 3. It's still good to land. It still does like more damage than most of his other stuff. Cute. Should I do towards medium kick there instead of juggling to DP? I would juggle to DP, but towards medium kick probably does more damage. I'm stealing that. I look at Elena play with new eyes now that I've played her a little bit myself. Neutral throw in the corner into Super 2, dude. Like 8 hits into Super 2, and it just was like, the Super 2 does like a tenth of their health. It's like, oh, I didn't know Hugo could be this weak. I like the universal overhead as a counter for lows. That's like one of the things it does that kind of is understated. It's like, yeah, I can set up supers from very specific ranges. Yeah, it's an overhead. But most people don't really talk about its hop kick status. Or hop punch in the instance of some characters, such as Shotos. That was not a bad play, to be honest. That was basically an empty jump low. Elena can't confirm a low into super. She just has to kind of gun it. She can't do like low short, low jab, for example. Or low short anything. But she can cancel the low short. And her overheads are kind of scary. But in order to make her overheads truly scary, every now and then you just have to kind of do a low poke, a low short, and then just cancel the super and like pray. Otherwise, you've just got to badge them with repeated sweeps or slides or down medium kick. Her overhead game is so strong, but her low game is so shit. Ooh, that was super good spacing. Super good timing. This is very scary still for Elena. The universal overhead would be good here. That too. You have to parry that. It's kind of hard to react. Nice. Into nothing. Ken like doesn't really have a good thing to do after a parry a lot of the time. Or rather, it's based on his meter. Watch an anime for you. That's one of the little annoying things about Elena. That cancel won't work at all ranges if she like intersects with a poke or something like that. You won't combo. Her Super 1 is, it will also fall out of those ranges, but because it won't hit at all for its first rep. Super 1 has like less of a chance of falling out, but it also has less range. A Yuri anime? How did you know my exact flavor? Oh. Not Yuri. That was some dedicated blocking right there. Got him that time. I respect Elena holding down back in that kind of situation. Nice, using the super. The super will interrupt the final hits. Or it will punish the non-final hits. Punish. He punished with car throw. What a strange world we live in. Of all the things to punish with. I guess if you're perfect with your car throws. Nice TP. Aka is red. Ge, or Ke rather. Can be here. I could have guessed that's what Akage meant, but I didn't think about it. I feel like everything in Japanese could stand for like a million things. Too many kanji out there, dog. Yang does pretty well here, to be honest. He's small, so I think he falls out of... That's the TC. Short forward roundhouse. You never see that outside of, say, Embu combos. Neat. MC jump dive kick is really strong. Dive kick, you think, like, dive kicks are good, but, like, dive kicks are not that busted in this game, considering dive kicks, like, on paper are the strongest they've ever been in this game in terms of, like, the frame data of the dive kick and the speed of the dive kick and the recovery of the whiff dive kick. And that's because parry also kind of fucks up dive kick. Like, as good as dive kick is, it's like, you can't parry while you're doing it, and the opponent can parry you. It telegraphs a bit. But empty jump, like empty dive kick, like jump hit in a range where you can do an offensive dive kick and then just dive kick and land in front of them is very good in this game, especially if you're young and you're engaging already. Only a true master. Only a real master. Anyway, I think Yang ducks under some like mallet smash stuff, but more importantly, he's got command grab loops against Elena, among other characters. If he lands a command grab, he can do close forward. Ooh. And if he can do close forward, he can do like jump medium kick into land crouch medium kick or land command grab, and it's a 50-50. So he's got looping pressure off of a command grab if he gets one, which is kind of good. I mean, it's not like a thing that just like makes or breaks a matchup or anything. It's just a nice little thing he has. It's an actual weapon, though. You know. Kind of weird movement right now. That was some of a punish. There we go. WX is a good combo, to be honest. The second DX adds more damage than the first one does, ironically. But you can't just start with DX Rhino Horn. Well, you can, but you don't get follow-ups. Whew. That's invincible. Dash in roundhouse or dash in throw is a 50-50 with Elena. Neat. He could have canceled that low shot to super if he saw it. Very hard though. That's gonna, yeah. This is like the one situation where Super 1 is better than Super 2. Super 1 gets all its hits there. Super 1 also costs a little bit less and gives you a little bit more EX to play around with. But it does like noticeably less damage and it's a little bit harder to combo, like at range. And both of those are kind of big factors. Elena's a character where she gets almost no super setups at all, regardless of which super she picks. I shouldn't say regardless, but between 1 and 2. So like you wanna, if you're only gonna be getting like one super setup, like a mat round, you want it to hurt more. You want the stronger one. You'll usually have an excess of meter. This should kill. Super 2 does like probably like 150% damage of Super 1, somewhere around there. Maybe not quite that, but it's like it's noticeably stronger. Oof, that was cool. That was a good anti-air. Make the opponent parry twice at 2 radically different timings before they can land. Very unsafe on block though. Akima's already won. The only question was how much meter he wanted to use. Akuma Super 1 is, it's okay, but once the opponent gets to low health, it's like a win button. It's so dominant at like low HP. There's so many ways to just use it where the opponent is basically guaranteed to die. Reversal demon flip even after all that. That's the setup that gives you a ton of Oki time. Ah, didn't space himself correctly. That looked like some really cool elaborate setup, but he did it like in a way that looked like it made sense, and it just didn't do anything. Goki's really cool in this game. This is supposedly Urian's worst matchup alongside Chun-Li. Nice punish. EX tackle on the sweep. Those kinds of things are worth landing. Normally it's like, do I really want to spend a meter on, like, you know, not even knocking the opponent over, just getting a little bit of guaranteed damage. But like honestly, like every hit counts on Akuma so much because he's so frail. It's never a waste to hit Akuma. Good old reliable stand fierce. Urian's pretty tight in this game. Both of them mashing air parry. Mirror can't really be used on reaction to a teleport, and teleports can be used to get out of the way of mirrors. Nice anti-air. Akuma can be really annoying if you're jumping in on him. He has like the best anti-airs in the game. Might work? Didn't work. Tatsus do a lot of work. Air Tatsu does a lot of work. Ground Tatsu does a shit ton of work. Makes him really hard to pin down. He can like get a bunch of chip. That's very, very hard to punish. You've got to red parry the last of the Tatsu, and you also need to know which version of the Tatsu he's doing. And then he can teleport out of the mirror, set up something ground. Akuma can just be real annoying in this matchup. Like those. You can really see the way this Akuma's using his neutral. That's a bit of a weird super. That didn't do anything. That's unthrowable for its whole duration, but you're fucked if it gets parried. This could turn around. It's hard to find teleport times here. He got one. See, like, if Urian, even if everything Urian did on that second mirror was blocked, he still probably would have gotten enough bar to maybe go for a third mirror. So, like, killing Urian's momentum is actually very important. And that's something only Akuma can do there. Without, like, a huge series of parries, that is, because anyone can get out of that with a huge series of parries. But even if you just block, Urian gets more bar, and he gets more mix-ups. The only way to stop the opponent from building meters to parry them. I'm pretty sure like a whiff low strong will build meter on, like it builds meter on whiff, but I think it won't build meter on parry. It's like strange. I don't think I've ever seen this matchup like in the last like year. It's not a common matchup. How do you pronounce that name? He's got a circle in his name. Like, that's not a kanji. This is a circle. The third one is ke, which is like hair. The first one is, I think, ha? Neat. That was a brave idea. I forgot that super cancelled fireballs. If it has a little bit of suction to it, if Akuma was actually pulled into it, it would have done a shit ton of damage. Grabbed him out of a back face there. It might be pronounced like ha, maru, ke. I'm just making shit up. I have no idea how to pronounce it. That was immensely risky, but he didn't get punished for it. Not significantly anyway. I mean, Necro's footsies aren't that bad in this matchup, to be honest. They're never that bad. Necro's like maybe a low tier character, but it's more about like, was that gonna work? What a bad punish. He could have done like low forward like Tatsu or something. Low fierce like Tatsu, to be honest. It was a mashed super, so he had like all the time to react. And just get like a full combo punish. Neat. Good use of that overhead there. Jump over the fireball and still be able to block the super. Wow, that was a chunk of Akuma's health. Ah, that was the wrong play. Necro's dash is not very fast. It's like one of the slower dashes in this game, although still quick compared to like Dalsim and any other Street Fighter. He's got a good distance on his forward and back dash though, he moves really far. But in terms of speed, Arugure. Alex's crouch fierce loses to like everything. You just gotta do it really early. Counter hit them. Ah. Neat. That's corner only, I think. Good awareness by the Akuma player, although it was a riskless button to hit. You can do DP there too, I think, but staying fierce is honestly like probably better. More consistent, better to drop. Good confirm. Meaty stand fierce. Kind of invited danger without doing anything else, so I don't like it so much. That's basically unparryable, even if you parry it, Akuma can fuck you up. Oh, very cool. Got a midair though. Sucks. Alex is a bad character. He backdashed trying to bait the teleport, but Akuma teleported the other way. Alex sucks. Alex is honestly bad. This is a matchup where it really shows his weaknesses. It's not even like he's that bad, because he can still fuck up Akuma with a couple choice hits. But it's like, some things are just so strong against like Alex's footsies. Alex's neutral is just really, really garbage. These games are from 2017. In fact, they're from August. These matches are less than a month old. He went from medium Tatsu to medium DP. That's either universal or almost universal, but it's quite hard to hit. It's like a 1 or 2 frame juggle for most characters. But it does more damage than light Tatsu into hard DP, I think. So if you can do it, power to you.
さあこれで最強になってるよ。よし。
Good old Ganejin punishing the Akuma players who get a little too uppity. Things are looking pretty good right now for team left. They're only on man 9. Team right's on man 13. That demon set up. All that power. A lot of damage, dude. You don't see demons very often in this game. There aren't that many setups, and they're quite hard to do. Like, there's no jab walk-in demon bullshit. No shortcuts work. I think the neutral, I think you can still use any of the 3 forward directions. And I think you don't need to come from neutral to the forward. So there's still probably some stuff you can do. But it's actually somewhat difficult to do, like parry into Raging Demon, as you would expect. You can do, like on Wake Up, you can do jab jab before you wake up. Oh, he's still blue from the parry. You can do like jab jab before you wake up, and then forward as you wake up. And then if you parry something, you can do like short fierce to get a demon punish. Kind of a cute little trick. Yeah, look at all that. That's why you don't parry that. He ended up taking like more damage for trying to parry it. Although granted he got more meter. The amount of meter you get from a parry is not that high. It's just a consideration to make it in game.
10人目ですね。はい。やわやわドライさん。やわやわドライですか。今日は何なんですかね。やわやわ。
The poison taunt.
やわやわとは何なんでしょうね。今日なんか言ってました。
You can be real annoying in this matchup with repeated demon flips. Demon flips are unthrowable even from their first frame, and you can just do all kinds of them. And Yugo has to respect them unusually early because he's unusually tall. So actually getting a punish on demon flips is kind of hard. That was a pretty dominant round. You could really see like Akuma's footsie's doing a lot of work. Zobby's a really good Akuma player, to be honest. I've seen this guy a good amount. He's one of the better Akuma players I see. Neat. Dash demons are hard to do in this game. Like really hard. Ugh. Never mind. Hugo probably couldn't get a clap there because that looked like a jab DP. Probably he was just going to get low forward at best, realistically. This is still very winnable. No, it's not. Akuma was still 2 grabs from dying. The beauty of Akuma, to be honest. One Hugo hard SPD does about a third of Akuma's health. There are a lot of beginners who play Akuma who can't find any sort of success because of that kind of vulnerability. Akuma's hard to unlock, which is why he doesn't have that many players. He still has a shit ton. He's one of the most played characters. Definitely online, I would say the characters I fight the most are Akuma and Ken. Probably more Akumas than Ryu's. I also fight a metric butt ton of Qs. Hi. There's actually really good character variety in this game. I don't find a whole lot of any character. I don't find that many twin players. I don't fight almost any Chun-Li's because a lot of the people who still play this game don't really like Chun-Li. I fight very, very few Dudleys. It doesn't really feel like I get swarmed by any given character. Makoto is somewhat common, I guess. The word strong is an unusual play after a parry there. And yet, like, I can't even think of what he was trying to do. That was like 0 risk right there. Meaty jump back air fireball. There was nothing bad that could happen. OE and Fight Kid. I saw pretty similar characters in both. Maybe more Kens in OE. In OE, it felt like it was always Ken. Ken is the most played character in this game, probably in tournaments and online. Nice. Ken is just the Ryu. That's, yeah. Very difficult red parry, and if Akuma landed, he could just Tatsu, or like DP or something, which made the parry even harder. Zabi's doing hella work. This is cool. This is some good shit. See, after that air parry, he actually could have done air Tatsu, and he would have gotten a shit ton of damage there. He would have gotten a 2-hitter Tatsu, I think, and then he could have landed that on 1-hit light Tatsu, and then DP from there. He had like a big punish. Yeah, anti-air super art, or like just close range like super art in a situation where the opponent has to parry it, is unbelievably strong for Akuma. They're as close as you can get to checkmate scenarios in this game, other than the actual checkmate scenarios. Aura has that shit too. If Aura can put a booger on the opponent while they're like a hit away from dying, he's basically got a guaranteed win. There's too much shit Aura can do. In particular, if the opponent's 1 hit from dying, you can create a nightmare scenario by doing his command grab, his hit grab, because it's unparryable. So the opponent has to like parry like 1 or 2 hits of the super, block the hit grab, and then red parry the extra hits of the super. And I'm not actually sure what happens if one of the super hits happens on the same frame that the hit grab connects. It might just be a guaranteed kill. Don't gotta tell me about that. It's not even the best chip out though. It's only good if the opponent is unfamiliar with the Aura's EX Fireball arc. I think I've been killed like that before. There we go. That's a nice Akuma. That was supposed to be instant air Tatsu for the 3rd one. That's a really nice Akuma combo that you don't see very often. Does a shit ton of damage. If you get first and last hit of hard Tatsu, you get big juggles. Nice. But it's very hard to get first and last hit. It's not that hard, but like... See that? She parried that and he landed on the other side. The parry didn't guarantee a punish there at all. Nice little setup. Akuma's team flip is real annoying. Akuma Oro is okay. It's like less good than you would think, but it's probably an advantage matchup for Oro. Maybe. Akuma's neutral is probably better, but Oro can make up for that pretty generously with his high dizzy output and high damage output. Oro also has better anti-airs than most characters, and his forward dash kind of fucks with Akuma's jump in general. And he's also got a good response to demon flip, which is uppercut Oniyama. Can't parry during demon flip, so Oniyama is like a guaranteed punish. You need down charge though, and down charge is harder to get than you would think against a good Akuma player. They'll sniff when you're blocking low too much and just grab you. Teching throws while crouching in this game is a lot shittier than it is in Street Fighter 4 or even 5. Nice, that's gonna kill. Pretty much B&B punish. I haven't seen Shinta play in a minute. This guy used to be he used to be like a player you'd see a lot back in the day. He was like one of the more common Ken players. He's always been like really good, but not like really, really good. Always been pretty strong. Oro. Is it Koro? Yes, it is. This guy is Ascended Beth. I don't even know if he's Ascended Beth. He plays a lot like me. Not like me, but better. He just plays like me. He plays a little better. He's like the only Oro I've ever seen who plays like me. Everyone else has some like significant quirks that change everything. I like Super 2 in this matchup. I've shifted over to that myself. Koro seems like he prefers Super 2 if he has a choice between them. Against good Kens, I've noticed that Super 2 for the EX is immensely more helpful than like anything else. If I were to wake up throw there, it would have worked. He did wake up parry because he's afraid. Second uppercut Kara is off of low roundhouse, I think, or low forward. So the motion is just DP motion into medium kick and then Kara light punch. Nice. Very, very, very optimal punish. Low strong was kind of awkward. He could have died for that. I used to do that a lot. I don't do it anymore. The tick into the overhead. Whereas overhead is fast enough that you can tick into it. Although it's not that fast. People tend to like not hit buttons after blocking something in this game, even though it's not that bad in this game to hit buttons after blocking something. Because most attacks are minus. People tend to play it safe until let themselves get reset to neutral because the risk of a throw isn't too bad. You can block your way to safety fairly easily. It really depends on the player though. If you block something and then hit a button, like a lot of people hit buttons and then OS parry. So blocking something and then hitting a button, you'll often block something and then like get parried. It tends to not work too well in practice. Like Oro can, against Shotos, Oro can do like stand strong, and then the only button that really is in range for Shotos to hit Oro after the block stand strong is like a low forward or a sweep. So Oro can do like, you know, stand strong and then OS low parry. We saw that when I said very optimized punish. literally what happened was that sequence. Block, stand strong. OS low parry, walk in, stay medium kick into car grab. Ugh. I mean, command grab. He had an EX lariat there, I think, but I don't blame him for not going for it. It wasn't worth the bar. YSB. Walking into buttons. That was a good empty cancel. Those might have all been empty cancelled too. Can stomp, gives him higher damage next combo. Nasty. Reversal Super 2, I mean Super 3 probably would have punished that Tatu. But he needed fast fingers and good reactions. Hyper optimal punish. Given the range. Nice. YSP is suddenly back in this. YSP's a wizard at picking his battles. There's so much nothing in YSP's game. And then he'll find like one spot, he'll find the crack. And he'll just fucking get this fat combo. Not a fat combo, he'll get like a 2-action combo. He's like a very passive Hugo, but with the ability to play like the most offensive Hugo you can ever imagine. His ability to parry is quite good too. Who is this one? Thanatos! I don't see him very much. This guy is generally regarded to be the best aura, or he was until Crota picked up aura. And now he's usually regarded to be maybe the best aura. He's got a super unique playstyle. He doesn't show up at these events almost ever. Thanatos plays like someone has a gun to his head, and he's saying, if you ever do the same thing twice, I'll shoot you. To the point that sometimes he makes what could be called actively bad decisions. It's a nice take. That's a mix-up with jump and stomp. Whoa, that's hard to do on Ken. I forgot that worked on Shotos, the 2-hit fierce. There's the car universal overhead. I like that at endgame, but he was really aggressive about it. That was a car fireball. Charge back towards medium kick light punch. I can do those, but they're almost never useful. That was like the one context where you'd ever see them. 3-stone super. This is a very good position for it. That's going to trade. Ugh. Good awareness from Ken. Or gets high damage ATR combos, and this is unblockable. Interesting juggle. Super good spacing on everything. Ugh. Oh well. Good run, Thanatos. At least we saw some cool stuff. Tanatosu. When I learned Aura, there were 2 really big Aura players where there was a lot of footage of both of them. One of them was Dirty Onpu. The other one was Thanatos. Dirty Onpu has like a super hyper consistent gameplay style, which I tried to copy. I'm more him than Thanatos. But Thanatos has like he's better in the matchups where people are playing anti-Aura because of his lack of consistency. He's more unpredictable. Onpu is like a musical note in Japanese. Dirty musical note. Dirty note. That jump was really awkward and he could have died for it. The super basically had a 0% success rate. It was 100% to escape the corner. If Ken jumped, it might have juggled, I guess. Nice punish. Shinto's killing it, dude. She just got like a good win streak going against good players.
大昇龍をぶっ放していく。さあリーチ。富永さん要所要所のじゃんけんで勝ててないですね。EX オールシガード。中足は刺さったが陣内まではいいか。投げて。
Tominaga's the team captain, so if he loses, the tournament's over.
ダッシュに陣内が刺さって。
He's the last one.
さあゲージはドミニー2本そろそろマックスになって EX でハクが EX 竜巻
Nice.
これは
That doesn't require Kara.
いかずに中足
Still a bit of video left, so I guess there's an exhibition.
さあフラグは見事に回収されてカバー
Whoa, Kiraki. This is quite a good come player who shows up to a lot of these events.
ごめんなさいねいやまああれですよいやの試合でラオスキラキさんがラオさん取ったから、はい、あなたが結構勝ってたのを見てじゃあ取ろうって思ったんです。あ、そういうことそういうことですよ。いや申し訳なかった。当てが外れちゃっていやなんかラオさん取っときゃなよかったな。さあエキシビあ、そう順番
Does it drop Kara?
順番の話これさっきタックス
You need perfect execution because it needs to be a first stream catch run house. And then also the Kara.
こんなレベルの話をね
Cars are pretty consistent once you can do them, but the first stream the run house is kind of tight.
割と苦笑いって感じ。中身はいい勝負してる。中身はそれなりに。中身はいい勝負してる。ちょっとあれだよね。
Ooh. Give Link the super there, maybe? Kind of is all about linking super off of on reaction off of super single hits. And he's also all about his Uki. Nice. Ken's TC is like always safe on block. Raw TC is safer than what the fuck? The taunt. It was gonna trade. He recognized it. Got the free taunt off. I don't think it was a juggle there or anything. Pretty funny. Ken's TC is literally more unsafe if he cancels it to a Hadouken than it is normally. I think Ken's TC is pretty minus, so you might be able to Shippu it if you're a Ken. But the thing is, it pushes back a lot. The pushback is insane. So being able to exploit the fact that it's minus is very hard to do. Using the taunt, guaranteed there after that fireball trade. Super, super, super high level Ken play we're seeing right now. What a bad punish! He was trying to do stand strong into medium DP, but he accidentally got walk forward slightly low strong, which is like the worst thing to get. His first stand strong was too early, and then that medium DP came out as a low strong because of the way he timed it. He probably did stand strong and then DP motion, tap strong a couple times. Well, well! That's not a super hard timing. He missed the super. Ah, that's a shame. When you get that tight ass red parry. Getting the first parry was super, super precise there because it's after the freeze. But getting the second parry is not too bad. He recognized that he could block one hit. Going for the red parry was much easier. That's like a gut reaction. I have that too. But like actually getting the red parry is a radically different thing than going for the correct red parry. So that's the high execution part. But that's like a fairly easy... It's not easy, but like that's a good super to learn to red parry. But he missed the super there off of that medium DP. And that fucked him over. He could have supered again on the whiff DP right there, but didn't see it in time. That was like really nice too. It's a shame. It's a shame to see someone get some super high execution shit like that and then just like, oop, drop my super. Ken's CC is only -2. That's nasty, dude. I didn't know it was only that minus. I thought it was like -8 or something. The pushback is really good though. The thing is, the TC is punishable. You can parry the first hit, or you can red parry the second hit, and both of those will make it really unsafe. There's always the possibility that Ken will get parried and then immediately super or DP, since he can super or DP after either hit, on reaction to a parry even. If your punish is fast, you'll do something before he can even cancel it. I think. I don't know actually, because canceling it you don't have to wait for parry freeze to end. Or rather for parry recovery to end. I don't know the name of that. There's extra recovery frames if you get parried, compared to the normal recovery of the move. Theoretically, you could get a grab in there. If it was a medium, or even a heavy, you could get a 3-frame grab in during those extra frames. Nice, super good confirm. Jump medium kick would have hit there. That doesn't look super. That looks like that doesn't look too impressive probably for you guys. But that was a nice motion on that EXDP, and that was also a very brave EXDP. EX uppercuts are not very common in this game. Ever. The risk reward is very shitty. Dude, Shinto's like 7 wins in a row. Somebody stop this man. Hiroyuki. No, Hiroyuki. Yuki. His name is Hiroyuki. I just like didn't even look at it. What does Pa mean here? Grabs are 3 frames in this game, and they're also 3 frames in Street Fighter 4. I don't know how fast they are in Street Fighter 2, but it's probably 1 frame to be honest. I also don't know how fast they are in Alpha. Since grabs turn into normal hits, if the opponent gets out, like, within the first frame, I think it's safe to say that grabs are probably 1 frame in Street Fighter 2. That's right. Alpha 3 switched over to third strike style grabs with 2 buttons. 2 punches or 2 kicks. There's no reversal window. It's just the 1 frame. There's no like reversal leniency, which is another reason you don't see DPs very much. Rao. I never really thought about it, but Rao is probably a Fist of the North Star reference. I know there's a very prominent character in Fist of the North Star named Rao. What an optimal punish. What a strangely optimal punish. Back fierce into Spinning Bird. Spinning Bird is a charge move, so that's a lot harder than it looks. Didn't help him. He probably should have just gone for super like any other. Wow, that reaction. He did it again, baby. Chun-Li, if she has a weakness at all, it's that without super her punishes are very, very shitty. Her neutral is great. Even when she doesn't have bar, her neutral is pretty good. Her mix-up is pretty solid with the low forward and the command grab and all that. But like if you do something unsafe against her in early game, she often just gets like a sweep or like a poke. So it's not too bad to take risks against her in early game, in round 1. But I guess if you're like Rao and you can do punishes like that, not as good. None of Chun-Li's like special moves work at all in combos. That's the thing. Lightning legs theoretically works, but good luck getting it out because it requires 5 button presses of the same kick normal. 5 of the same kick is just very hard to get out in the moment. It's not like Street Fighter 4 where you can crouch fierce and then hit 5 different kicks, or 3 different kicks and then 2 of them twice rather. New video. Spinning bird requires charging, and the best you can usually get with that is down fierce into medium spinning bird, unless you're a god like Rao, and you can do back fierce into, I don't know if it's medium or hard there. Down fierce does a lot less damage than back fierce though. Those are 5 frames in Street Fighter 5. They're 7 in the initial release of Cross Tekken, and I think they made it 5 in the second release of Cross Tekken. That was a pretty good number. 3 was probably okay though, but 3 frame throws probably did make throws too dominant. Those are very strong in the entirety of Street Fighter 4, but it was like just as much about the hard knockdown. But like the core mix-up was heavily based around throws compared to like, you know, overhits or lows, or like timing, counter hit setups. Counter hit setups seem to be the main focus of Street Fighter 5 offense. The main focus of Street Fighter 3 offense appears to be parry fishing and overhead lows. With a bit of counter hit setups and a bit of throws thrown in occasionally. Neat. If you red parry the last hit, it's actually unsafe. He red parried a little early. That's like 0 risk too. I should start trying for that. Hi. Got snatched. Oh, but Kikoken doesn't do anything for combos. And what's Chun-Li's other? Oh, Hazanshu. Hazanshu doesn't do anything for punishes. So Chun-Li in general is very shitty when it comes to punishing. The Hugo's Dorai, but he's got some wacky bullshit in front of his name. Jimejire Dorai. There's some matchups that are just very fun to play in Third Strike, and I think this is one of them. I played this matchup as the Hugo and the Alex, and it's fun. Ryuken is fun. Nice. Reversal SPD was fast enough. Grabbed a stand jab. I saw it. Any game with 1-button throws, I feel like the throws are probably usually 1 frame. Because they don't have like whiff animations. They have to be able to turn into regular normals. I think KOF throws are 1 frame. Command grabs too, I think. I'm pretty sure you can use command grabs as true reversals in KOF. Because a grab and a hit on the same frame, the throw will win. And they've got 1 frame startup. So if you've got a command grab, you can like wake up with it technically, and it'll beat meaties. That's very strange. Nice. I don't know if you can wake up with normal throws in KF though. So normal throws might be slower than command grabs, but I'm pretty sure command grabs are 1 frame. What are those characters? First one has something to do with thread. Middle one is man. Don't know the third one at all. You don't see that default oral color very often. Aura's like, Aura's got too many fruity flavors for people to pick the default. You can express yourself too much. Like a lot of characters, it's like, oh, who cares what color I pick? But Aura, you can actually pick your favorite color. So I really like blue. Time to pick the blue Aura. Early jump roundhouse. Yeah. Yeah, I do that shit. Nice parry. Getting meter in this matchup is surprisingly hard. I wonder if the opponent gets out of the range of the one button throw in Alpha 1 and 2 if you get a normal with just 2 extra frames of startup. You get like a 7 frame stay in fierce instead of a 5 frame stay in fierce. Ugh, that was punishable. I forget what Hugo can do, but he definitely has a 1 button punish there. Left forward perhaps. See, that super's not going to do anything. And Aura's out of meter now. He went for big damage. The actual setup there is kind of hard. You have to do jump in, stomp, and then charge back. And then I think you can land and do stand strong into hard fireball. And then do the Hugo juggle from there. But that requires some wacky charging. How about this matchup? Remy's got a Chinese style name. Small, and then I don't think that's a sister kanji. It's got woman in it, but I don't think it's older or younger sister. Most Chinese names are 1 syllable. Some of them are 2. And it's apparently very common to have Xiao before a name as like a nickname. You can make any name into a nickname just by putting Xiao in front of it. Xiao means small. In Chinese it's pronounced Xiao, but in Japanese it's I think Shou. Alternate reading Chisai. I had to look at the kanjis for sister. Oh, it's neither of those. Different one entirely. But you got the woman on the left-hand side, which means that kanji has something to do with a woman. I don't know the kanji for fucking daughter or anything like that. Or like niece. Oh, later, Sobi. Eat. Good confirm. Remy's combos are not super powerful, to be honest. Not a very strong character in terms of damage. Good neutral though. If he did a little bit more damage, he would be a somewhat fair character. If he had an almost stun bar, that would help a little bit too. Neither of those would be like game breaking for him. He wouldn't like shoot to high tier. Probably move to mid. He's got a good car throw. The real problem is his normals. They're not bad, but like a lot of them are highly redundant or very specialized. So he doesn't have a whole lot of like super good general use normals. The general use normals he has don't really set anything up. Like the thing about Ken is low strong is a very good general normal, and also if he ever lands it, he can super. Like if he ever lands it. A lot of Remy's pokes don't lead to anything. Which is normal for pokes, but they don't have like hitboxes like to warrant them not being able to lead to anything. If Remy could do like button into not be a B video, I'm probably gonna make after this. In fact, I'm probably gonna record myself scripting it. There's a lot to put in it. I've barely started it, to be honest. I like trained for the Minot Cup instead of making the Minot B&B. And then I've been working almost non-stop since the Minot Cup, so I actually haven't had almost any free time at all between Minot Cup and now. I had one day where I was off where I hung out with my friends, my IRL friends. Anyway, it'll probably be up tonight. Harake. I'm quite serious about Minot. The more I see footage of her, the more I'm like, this is the character for me. Even if I don't do as well as I was doing with Akuma, I'll probably keep playing her. But I will try and learn her setups and stuff, because she can do some really unique things. She has like completely non-committal attacks. That's kind of a big deal. Like the opponent can jump in and you can release orbs and get like an anti-air without risking anything. Like no matter what they do, even if it's like Ken instant air EX Tatsu or something like that, you don't hit a button so you can't get counter hit. Yeah, it's been some good shit about the data mining. I'm like excited. I'm ready for Street Fighter 5 to be a good game. I think everyone is. Alright, so a red EX effect has been data mined that's distinct from the like poisoned EX effect. A new animation for Ryu's V-trigger activation, or maybe a second V-trigger activation. And then a bunch of those are confirmed, and then a bunch of stuff that's not quite confirmed, or it is confirmed, but we don't know if it's necessarily leading to this. A bunch of stuff pointing towards a second V-trigger, a second super, a second V-reversal, or a second V-skill. It is possible the red EX effect will only be for what's his name? Zeku. We only have one new V animation, and it's on Ryu. I mean, Evil Ryu is entirely dropped by Street Fighter 3. The whole point of Evil Ryu is that, like, well, Evil Ryu's a non-canon character in general. The only time Ryu's canon gone Dark Kato is to Scar Sagat. But Ryu is supposed to be past. Ryu's supposed to be struggling with the Dark Kato in Street Fighter 4, but past that in Street Fighter 3. He's supposed to have found peace by Street Fighter 3. This matchup is very strange. Oh, that juggles. He just missed it. Oh my god. Interesting. That, like, always hits on the front. Necro doesn't have a cross-up, so it's pretty easy to block, though. The thing about Street Fighter 4 Ryu is he's got a lot of borderline, like, Dark Kato stuff. Like, Metsu Shoryuken and Metsu Hadoken are, the Metsu isn't, like, it's not necessarily Dark Kato, but, you know, they've got the purple effects, which Dark Kato stuff usually has. And then, Metsu means, like, destructive, which is, I think, a kanji used in some Dark Kato bullshit. Satsui no Hado. Ryu ditches all his Metsu in Street Fighter 3. He's got Goken's 2 Ultras as his Super 2 and his Super 3. Ryu has mastered a bunch of Goken moves by third strike. Bison's been killed before. Big damage. Q is strong. That's one of the strongest like regular 1-bar B&Bs in the game. Good red parry. Neat. Oh, that's a good red parry right there. 2 taunts? Yep. That's good to land early game. That was still a punish. Q has a unique non-skeleton. Q is, I think, one of the only characters in this game who doesn't have a skeleton when electrocuted. 12 doesn't either. 12 probably actually doesn't have a skeleton. Q, his body isn't see-through. Like, you can see his actual outline of his body through his clothes, but you can't see inside his body. Which suggests that he might be a robot. Bison cannon dies in every ending of Alpha 3. And he also cannon dies at the end of Street Fighter 2. Gets all misotsed. So we're at least on our 3rd Bison. Wow, it seems like they probably should have done some storyline like that. That would have been a better ending than the ending we got. Nikali pops out of nowhere. Everyone fails to beat Bison. Nikali pops out of nowhere. Wants strong souls. Eats Bison, turns to mud, leaves. Nikali should have been this big unstoppable force in story mode, to be honest. Pretty much everyone seems to agree on that. Nikali was limp. Nikali only appeared a couple times and he got beaten by like Sim and Ryu. It's like, hey, how about now? Nikali should have been Ancient Evil. Chun, I'm okay with Chun jobbing. Chun can job, and it won't like ruin the game for me. I feel like the game was building up to like Chun-Li like doing something, fighting Bison, I guess. Chun-Li seemed to be the main character of story mode. But they didn't actually like do that. Also, they shoehorned Ryu in. There should have been 2 simultaneous plots of Ryu versus Nikali and like Chun-Li versus Bison. Or maybe even Nash versus Bison. And then like Rashid versus Fong, which was actually done pretty well. That arc was nice. Fong was great and Rashid was great and all their interactions were good. Without being like, you know, without feeling like wasted. But like Nash, it was so stupid. Okay? It's like Chun-Li fights Bison, oh my god, he's too strong. Nash fights Bison, dies. Like, I knew Nash was gonna die, okay? Foregone conclusion. Everything in the story mode was like, Nash will die, okay? But he doesn't even do anything to Bison. You think that the heroic sacrifice would have ended the fight. It was kind of awful that it didn't, to be honest. It should have been Nash kills Bison. Nash should have been the last one to fight him. And it should have been like, kaboom, and that should have been that. Hard red parry there. And then Ryu shouldn't have had anything to do with Bison. Ryu never should have come in and beaten up Bison. That makes, like, it had Ryu, fuck. I get that Ryu's the poster child and Bison's the poster villain, but the two have fucking nothing to do with each other. It's so stupid that it's just like, Nash needs to make his heroic sacrifice. Oh no, Bison wasn't even hurt. Here's Ryu. I'm okay with Kareen, like, doing everything. I'm okay with the way they used most of the characters. They're just some, like, critical things during story mode that I was just like, why did they do it this way? I like the subplot with Cammy and Vega and Juri. And Zangief and Ibuki were pretty funny. Mika. I liked all the dolls doing stuff. I like playing as the dolls. Imagine the shit that would have happened if it was like beat story mode, and then it's like, imagine if it was just everyone running from Nikali every time he appeared. Okay, imagine this shit. I just wrote a better story than Street Fighter 4. I mean 5. Everyone running from Nikali all the time, and you just have to hold Nikali off every time you fight him. It's just like there's like a 30-second time limit, and like Nikali can't be hurt. Okay, imagine that. And then, right at the end, it's like Nikali is the one who, like, fucking grabs Spice and pulls him to hell or whatever, and then he just disappears, and that's that. And then imagine it's like, okay, I guess everything's resolved, fucking same-ass ending, saving those kids, fucking Fong falls off the thing, whatever. And then right at the end, it's, like, Nikali and, like, Akuma facing off. And it's just like, I fucking heard of you. And that's, like, Akuma's first appearance. That's the Akuma reveal, is the end of story mode. And then you play as Akuma for the Nikali versus Akuma. And you can hurt Nikali for the first time. How fucking tits would that be? And that's Akuma's only appearance in story mode. Dudley's jump. The thing about story mode is that it was not without good things. It was not without its virtues. I would have liked that actually. I like they put some time and effort into story mode. I like how they made the dolls. And Peter. And the grunts. Neat. Dudley has like 2 frames of invincibility there. Which is enough if he hits in his first frame. I was yucking it up pretty hard in my first playthrough of Street Fighter V Story Mode, where it was the first time I fought Julie, and I was like, oh shit, because she was doing actual Julie moves, and like the Capri too. I was like, oh fuck, this is them. This is their actual fighting styles. Keith was funny, but he wasn't the best thing. I feel like Rashid was the best thing. Rashid was the straight man. That's the thing about it that made it so perfect. Is Rashid was like the one character who was aware of how weird everything was. And he would like highlight it all the time. He's like, you guys like, why is everyone so weird? I liked how they divided up the characters with like Kareen's little fucking squad and like all those Illuminati not quites that Rashid infiltrated, I guess. And the villains. They forgot the scene where Juri and Kemi fight naked in a pile of mud, though. They missed that scene. That's not Kokujin. It says Kami. It's not the same spelling as the way they spell Kami, I think. I think they write Kyami for that. Juri's pretty interesting in terms of personality. She's one of the better Street Fighter characters in terms of like visual design, obviously, but like personality too. There's a lot to do with her. She's villainous, but she's complex. Vega's not very complex at all. Bison's not very complex at all. Balrog's not very complex at all. Sakawa's a little bit complex, and now he's not. Gil is not very complex. Irene is not very complex. Akuma's not very complex. A lot of the villains just have like one gimmick, one note. And it's not a villain. Jerry's like the only complex villain. Maybe DiCaprio, I guess. But they haven't done anything with DiCaprio. Dude, how perfect would it be if Dan like sabotaged everything at every turn during story mode, and then right at the end he pulls off a mask? Okay, maybe he doesn't pull off a mask, but it's just like I was the villain all along. Anyway, Juri gives off fat misunderstood vibes. Like, she's definitely evil. But she's more of the misanthropic kind of evil. Misanthropic. She's more of the evil where she's just reacting to the atrocities done to her. I don't know what those things necessarily are. She had her parents killed, I guess, at some point prior to the story taking place, and also her eye ripped out. That can't have been fun. Pretty sure she actually lost the eye. Junior, this must be a Dragon Ball reference. Yeah, I saw that win quote. I was like, damn.
まずレバーの持ち方からとかそういう話になるんでしょうけど、そもそもダブル吹き上げってどのダブル吹き上げですかね。まあそこからみたいな感じですかね。大パンチで押す。大パンチ。
A surprisingly deep win quote. Nice.
ワンブロからの気がかっこいいですね。
飛び狩りを許さない。
ドーン。
そうあのジャンプ台パンがねかなりのバリアっぷりを発揮するんで。
I wonder if Sagat and Jerry would ever have a conversation about eyes. It's like, you two, huh? Yeah. Does it ever itch? I want that. I want that scene. I want a scene where it's just Sagat and Jerry, and they're just left with each other. It's like, how about being a Cyclops? Tight.
大パンそれでもさっき取られて死んだけどそれでもめげずに前大パン大いで練習してるけど切りさえ出たらな確かに他のゲームで見てみるといいかもしれないですねあフォークスクリュー入って半分あ今ギガス届いたんだね危なくないの
Oof.
またギガス
I wonder if she can see out of the feng shui eye.
要は正義の誠わかんないっす
Probably not.
あ投げ返されて小足暴れから
And that's what the birdie said. He's going to keep getting fatter.
危ないバリアから体力リーズ取った取られる
See how fast that clap recovers? He went for the red parry on the last hit and didn't get it. He would have won if he got that. Would have been red parry on last hit into FPD. Pretty easy GG.
で出てきたのは山さんの12ですね。これもまた
そうですね12も2人目ですね
Adon's cannon power is probably pretty good. Well, we don't know. But, like, he fights Sagat a lot. Sagat's no jobber. He's one of the strongest characters in lore. In lore, he's literally the strongest character up until Street Fighter 2. And then he's, like, the second strongest character in Street Fighter 2, possible exception to Kuma. We don't even know if he's stronger than Bison. He might be. He doesn't, like, try and fight Bison.
確かにコアコアなら死んでたですからね今小足ペチペチからじゃ死なないニコレニコレ
リスクリターン良すぎないじゃないですか
そうですでもめげたら負けなんですほらダットリーの飛びに歩いてもあ
Very interesting jab. Theoretically, Gil's cannon power is super fucking high, but everyone fucks him up, so it's hard to say. Both Alex and Akuma get the 1v1 on Gil. Although I wouldn't call the Akuma one conclusive. Alex's cannon power is not really ever given. Tetsuka Sensei. This is a good Dudley. The one with the blue boxing gloves. Does Alex take it over? Sounds like some comic shit. I thought Alex beat the Illuminati and then just goes home. Says hi to Tom. Playable Tom win. I don't want Tom. There's so many other characters they could do that would be a million times better. I'd rather have a playable guild, to be honest. I got all its hits. Tom, I think Tom knows how to fight, but he was like wounded at some point prior to the start of SF3. So he's not like fighting capable anymore, at least temporarily. And then I think Patricia doesn't know how to fight. Tom's daughter? I don't remember Patricia. I don't remember what she is. I think she's Tom's daughter. I don't quite know Alex's relation to either of them. Is he just like a family friend? Is he in love with Patricia? What's going on? That animation's so good. They have Dudley get out the wrong side against Makoto, so the car can, the wind can work on her. I have a fan theory that Alex is mentally disabled and Tom is his handler. It's a pretty good theory in my opinion. Nice. Makoto could just mash jab there. Literally no outside. How old is Sagat anyway? Sagat's age is literally impossible to judge from his appearance. I would believe that Sagat was in his 60s, and I would also believe that he was in his 20s. He's in good shape anyway. 1955. I don't remember what year Street Fighter 2 is supposed to take place in, but I think it's 80-some. 89. Time stops passing basically once Street Fighter 2 happens. Until Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter's in real time. And then after that they abandon it. But he's not. So his last canon appearance, in terms of timeline, is like Street Fighter 2, or Street Fighter 4, but like, that takes place like less than a year after Street Fighter 2. Since Ken's wife is pregnant in Street Fighter 2 and still pregnant in Street Fighter 4. So, Sagat's in his 30s. '55 to '89, like mid-30s, mid-40s by Street Fighter 3. If they add Sagat to Street Fighter 5, he will be in his mid-40s. Dropped it a little early on the X tackle. It's tight to pick up that combo on Makoto. Certain characters react differently to it than others. Some you don't require any timing at all.
あスライド見せてる投げし死ぬ死なない
I saw that coming like a mile off.
これは痛い
I was like, this is gonna be a delayed low.
ダブル吹き上げダメじゃん
で最終ラウンド
It's like the least risky thing he could have gone for.
うまいローチェス
Reversal headbutt very common in this matchup, but that's where things can get a little ugly.
絶対勝つもんじゃん
Got Makoto.
終了
Happens to the best of us.
めっちゃ頑張った封印した絶対
That
勝
was
ち
it.
だから
That's the last one.